January 6th. It's being called the greatest attack on our democracy since the Civil War, since Pearl Harbor, since 9/11. The list goes on. And the hypocrisy and gaslighting is nearly unprecedented. I can barely stand to turn on mainstream news anywhere, anytime. That being said, have you ever actually wondered what is the greatest attack on not only our democracy, but on the Capitol building? Have you ever looked at that history? I have a filmmaker who's a friend and a historian. He works in DC, and he put together the following short film to answer just that question. So now you can kind of punch back when somebody says, this is the greatest attack on our Capitol or on our democracy. No, it wasn't. Check it out.
In their determination to defile national symbols, they are children of the same foul spirit, and it is our continuing duty to confront them.
Am I reading this right? When he talks about defiling national symbols, is he talking about the January 6th insurrectionists, the MAGA terrorists?
It's a remarkable moment for him to provide the connective tissue from 9/11 to 1/6.
The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War.
And many of us gathered in New York for the 9/11. Now that was an assault from outside. What happened on January 6th, an assault from within. Horrible in both cases.
I think it's actually the most important issue in the last 150 years since the Civil War.
In reality, this is the most direct attack on our capital since 1814.
Osama bin Laden did not hijack any planes, yet he and those who supported, defended, sabotaged the investigation into him were terrorists who attacked this country as literally, as unforgivably as Trump and the Republican Party are. The Republican Party is now a terrorist organization.
We've all seen the left's incessant campaign to frame the rioting on a few bad apples compared to the massive and overwhelmingly peaceful crowd that rallied on the ellipse January 6th as the worst attack on our nation since 9/11 or the torching of the Capitol in the Library of Congress by British forces in 1814. But is this even close to being true? Look, we all understand the Capitol represents the greatest country in the world, or at least it's supposed to. What happened on January 6th was profoundly shocking. It really did look terrible. It was terrible. And again, I want to condemn what happened there that day in the strongest manner possible. But the Capitol isn't the only symbol of our republic. Our system of laws, the American dream, and the greatest economy the world has ever known are shining symbols as well. All these ideals were attacked with much worse violence, rioting, looting, arson, and killing during the BLM Antifa domestic terror spree, and the left didn't even condemn it. In fact, some made excuses for it and encouraged it, including Kamala Harris.
This is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop. And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. They're not going to let up, and they should not. And we should not.
What hypocrites. But not only that, the left characterized the rioting at the Capitol as completely unprecedented, completely ignoring all the other attacks and violence that have taken place there over the years. On July 2nd, 1915, Erich Munter, a German-American and Harvard professor, upset with our opposition to Germany in the First World War, set off 3 sticks of dynamite in the Senate reception area. The next day, he attempted to shoot and kill financier J.P. Morgan. On March 1st, 1954, 4 Puerto Rican nationalists opened fire from the gallery of the House of Representatives, injuring 5 congressmen. Compared to January 6th, where the unarmed rioters fired no shots and no congressmen were injured. Protests against the Vietnam War led to a spate of bombings and violent attacks throughout our country. On March 1st, 1971, the Weather Underground, a Marxist group with members who years later became pals with Barack Obama, placed a bomb in the men's bathroom 1 floor below the Senate chamber.
For a report on the first serious damage to the nation's foremost structure since the British burned it in 1814, here is ABC congressional correspondent Bob Clark.
On November 7, 1983, radical leftists set off a bomb outside the Senate building. No one was injured, but structural damage was roughly equivalent to what took place on January 6. July 24, 1998, a deranged man shot and killed 2 police officers in the Capitol building. Officer Gibson, one of the 2 men killed, fell just feet away from a desk previously occupied by my current chief of staff. And even after January 6, a follower of Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam rammed a car into the Capitol barricades, murdering a Capitol police officer. Do you see how the left rolls? They cherry pick and spin their facts, gaslighting like crazy all the way, while carefully ignoring all manner of facts and events that put the lie to their narrative. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of it, and I'm pushing back. I hope you'll join me.